Hello there everybody, and welcome back to another music video makeup Monday. I am your host here today, Miss Nikki, and today we are going to be doing another cult classic. Man, I have been on a classics wave. They have been iconic. I don't know, new music, it just ain't hitting me the same. But today we're going to be doing Edge of 17 by Miss Stevie Nicks. This song I've known for a long time, and still there were things that surprised me about it. So we're gonna skip over kind of the Fleetwood Mac era because that's like a whole separate thing, and just kind of dive into Stevie a little bit and a little bit more on the song. So if you guys are interested in music, you guys are interested in learning a little bit more about artists while recreating iconic looks, then this is your channel. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button to see more from me. And also, everything that we use today is going to be linked down below. So if you're ever wondering, it's all going to be down there. So let's run ahead. Let's get started. I will say this music video is hella 80s. And so there's a lot of lighting going on. I can't really get the full grasp, but we're gonna try and make this look similar. It's gonna kind of look like this with a little bit of my own interpretation, because there's lights coming left, right, side to side, and I'm just like, you know? So we're gonna start off with priming our face. And well, let's talk about Stevie, right? Stevie was born by the name of Stephanie Lynn Nicks. It was said that her name kind of came from her. She didn't know how to say her name, and so she'd say like certain renditions, like Dee Dee, CD, something, you know. And so since she would use these different names for herself and trying to say her name, Stevie just stuck. And they were like, Stevie, that's your name. Stevie Nicks, that is your name. Now, I felt like a lot of the early beginnings to her and music, you know, just really closely correlated to Fleetwood Mac. And we weren't going to be talking too much about Fleetwood today. So we're going to jump into this album now. So this album that Edge of 17 is on is the album called Belladonna. It was her first single album. It was her first album by herself. There you go. The other albums that she did was with the other groups that she was with, but this was her first album that she did solo dolo. This particular song that we're doing today was her third single off of the album. Now, when it comes to this song's origins, its origins are actually pretty funny, kind of interesting, and also very sad at the same time. So Edge of 17, right? He was hanging out with Tom Petty, right? Tom Petty and his wife, Jane Petty, first wife of the time. Stevie had asked her, how did you guys happen to first meet? You know, super cute question, right? And I guess she had quite an accent. It was a very southern accent, and she said age of 17, but the way that she said it, it sounded very like age of 17. And so she just thought it was like a funny way of speaking and was just like, you know what, Edge of 17. Don't know what the heck that would mean, but I like that name. I'm gonna keep that in my book, and I'm gonna use it for something. Edge of 17. And that's how she came up with the name Age of, I can't even say it now. Edge of 17 was from her speaking and saying it that way. She was like, I'm going to use this for a song, and I'm going to give you credit because I got to give credit where credit is due. Originally, when she thought about using this name, Edge of 17, Age of 17, she wanted it to be a song that was about Tom Petty and Jane Petty. She was like, well, you know, came up with this idea from you guys, might as well make a song about y'all, you feel me? We all know how it goes, and you know, sometimes things do not go according to plan, right? And so there was a pretty tough time that came for her. She was at the time dating, I still don't know how to say his last name, even though he's very iconic, everybody knows him, Jimmy Iovine. She was dating him at the time, and in that time frame that they were dating, unfortunately John Lennon passed, and John Lennon was a great friend to Jimmy, and so it was a pretty traumatic time. In that time, she felt very helpless, very, very, very helpless. You know, she had her boyfriend was Jimmy, like I said at the time, and seeing him going through such a traumatic moment, and just seeing, you know, his reaction to a friend passing away, it was very difficult. And in that time frame as well, she ended up going back to Arizona, where she had an uncle who was actually passing away of cancer. And so it was a pretty sad moment in time for her, and just like I said, seeing all this stuff happening was just kind of rough, and it inspired the song and its creation. I felt pretty funny and a bit ridiculous on this part of the story because I literally did not put two and two together until I read it. All my life, I would say, just like the one we know, sing a song sounds like she's singing. It's not what she says. I was reading the lyrics and I was like, bro, you really butchered that one. She says, just like a white-winged dove. And so, yeah, I just thought that was pretty funny of me to clearly butcher this song for years, and happily no one actually heard me saying it, because if they did, they would definitely have to correct me, and it would be pretty embarrassing, you know? But true to form, this song was a very iconic and symbolic song. The white dove symbolized obviously passing away, death, a spirit kind of leaving someone's body, that whole sort of jazz, and it was inspired obviously by her uncle and, like I said, John Lennon. In other parts of the song, she also makes certain references that kind of makes it feel like, you know, you're kind of leading up to the day of someone's passing, and then the ooh, ooh, ooh is supposed to symbolize a dove and the singing of a dove. So I thought honestly that was a pretty interesting take that, again, I just never thought about. And again, when I think about the creativity of these artists, it's always super cool to just see and hear, you know. She really took it there with the song. The song itself was also produced by Jimmy, and I think this whole album, to be honest, was produced by Jimmy. The song ended up peaking at number 11 on the Billboard Hot 100 charts, and it stayed there for about 2 weeks. This is one of her songs that she typically likes to end her concerts with over the years. It has become kind of a classic to her, a staple, and especially when it comes to her like career as a solo artist, I mean, it's quite the staple. And like I said, it's a very poetic song. Very poetic. Now we're gonna be moving on to the lip section. I'm watching this video and I'm gonna be honest, it's very hard to look and see what the color is. Certain shots it has more of a pink tone, other shots I feel like I see pink and purple, some I see red. I don't even know what the heck I'm looking at. So, like this shot, this looks red. I'm confused. So I'm gonna line my lips on the edges with this purple and then go in with the red. Let's see how it looks. Might look like but it might look good too. Basically, that sums up the look for today, guys. It's a pretty simple look all in all. It is a fun look. I don't know if the lips should be this extravagant, but we're still gonna run with it because it's fun. But I hope you guys enjoyed today's video with a little bit of the notes about it. There really wasn't too much crazy information besides the little bit of notes about like where the inspo came from, how it did well, all that sort of jazz. I think people weren't really anticipating for her to be as big on a solo album, and she surpassed that and did an amazing job, and this was probably one of her biggest hits from this album. And like I said, it was the third single from the album. The music video was also released in that time frame and has a very simplistic approach. It's just her doing a performance and the colors and the lights on stage, all that jazz. But like I said, overall pretty simple, you know, but it was a look that I saw and I was like, you know what, this looks like this could be fun. Let's try it out and see a little bit of information about it. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you guys so much again for watching. We'll be back with another music video, Makeup Monday, very soon. If there's anybody that you guys would like to see, let me know down in the comment section below. And yeah, I'll see you guys soon. See ya.